I think this chapter gives you a really good overview of clinical psychology, what it is, and even how to get into the field if you want to. There are some things mentioned in it that I disagree with, coming from a PsyD background myself. So, a little about me. This is my 15th year teaching at IU. I also teach at Butler. My background is in clinical psychology. I have a Purdue undergrad degree in psychology, but I did my graduate work at Indiana State University. They offer a university based PsyD program that's pretty rigorous and offers exceptional training in psychotherapy, psychological evaluation, and research. And this is where I think the author of our book, Dr. Pomerantz, is a little misleading about PsyD programs. He talks about the PsyD degree, but he references it by really relating it to the freestanding PsyD programs. Those are a little different than the university-based PsyD programs. And there are some university-based PsyD programs available here in Indianapolis, too, as a matter of fact, Indiana State, where I went, and the University of Indianapolis. Um, the university-based PsyD programs are much more attuned to the more balanced, bolder model that you're going to read about. And I think are much more well-rounded than some of the standalone PsyD programs. I'm not knocking the standalone PsyD programs. They just do have a little bit less focus on understanding research than some of the university-based ones do. So keep that in mind if you're interested in going into clinical psychology. There are a few things that I could recommend you do right now if you are interested in a career in clinical psychology. One is to get to know a professor or two on campus that can write you a really good recommendation for grad school. So if you've had a professor for one semester, that's probably not going to be a great recommendation. You're looking for really good relationships where they get to know you. If you have a research bent, asking to participate in a professor's research can also be a boon that you can put on your application. Other things that you can do is volunteer at a mental health setting. I personally volunteered at an in-pay psychiatric hospital here in Indianapolis during my undergrad years. It was an awesome experience. I got to see a lot of things in person that I wouldn't have known about before I got into the field, which helped shaped my interests. And so anything you can do to kind of help shape your own interests and so that you understand what you're getting into before you actually do. Grad school is a 5-year proposition beyond college, so it's a heavy commitment. You should know what you're interested in and what you want to do. You can also join some psychology organizations. Some of them are right here on campus, like PsyChi or the Psychology Club. You can join organizations like bringchangetomind.org and advocate for the mentally ill. But try to figure out what your interests are and focus your attention on that. If you're looking at programs you think you might be interested in, try to match your interests and skills up with that institution. Don't waste your time on applying to schools where your grade point average isn't going to work, or your bent isn't towards research and that institution is more research oriented. Try to match your interests with what that program is going to offer. Keep your grades up. Doctoral psychology programs on average accept about 1 out of 100 applicants. So it's really important to kind of stand out. I was interested in becoming a therapist, and so my choice was Indiana State. That was ideal for me. I was able to practice in Columbus previously, I served as a resident specialist on psych testing for children and adolescents. But I also utilized my skills that I learned at ISU in a variety of other ways too. In treatment teams that included psychiatrists and social workers and such. And I was able to work with varied populations, from incarcerated individuals to the elderly to different kinds of groups to the court systems. So I really got a lot of experience as a clinical psychologist in the field. Now, if you want personal guidance about your route to the mental health field, reach out and we can discuss it. I love to encourage my students to pursue the mental health field, whether that is to become a psychologist or whether it's to become a social worker or some other professional in the mental health field. We need you. The mental health system, as you will find out, needs a lot of changing, and you might just be the help that it needs.